pag-asa. Nakikiusap na lang, himala. Kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng isang himala. Kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng isang himala. Pangarap ko'y makita ang liwanag ng umaga, naglalampas sa iyong mga mata. Di mahagilap sa lupa, pag-asa. Nakikiusap sa buwan, himala. Kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng isang himala. Kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng isang himala. Kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng isang himala. Kasalanan ba? Humingi ako sa langit ng isang himala. Isang himala. Isang himala. Isang himala. As endless as forever, our love will stay together. You're all I need to be with forevermore. There are times when I just wanna look at your face with the stars in the night. There are times when I just wanna feel your embrace in the cold of the night. I just can't believe that you are mine now. You were just a dream that I been dreaming of you every night. I've been watching all the stars get fall down, wishing you would be mine. I just can't believe that you were mine now. You were just a dream that I was through. I never thought I would be right for you. I just can't compare you with anything in this world. You're all I need to be with forevermore. Time and again, there are these changes every cannot end. You're a star that keeps going on and on. My love for you will be I just can't believe that you are my God. You are just a dream that I was through. I never thought I would be right for you. I just can't compare you with anything this world. As endless as forever, our love will spend together. You're all I need to be with Tila ibon kong lumipad, sumabay sa hangin. Ako'y napatingin sa dalagang nababalot ng hiwaga. Mapapansin kaya sa dami ng iyong ginagawa, kung kaagaw ko ang lahat, may pag-asa bang makilala ka? Awit na nananawagan, pagkasakaling napakikinggan, pag-ibig na palaisipan, sa kanta na lang idaraan, nag-aabang sa lahat. sa kanta na lang idaraan. Nag-aabang sa langit, sa mga ulap sumisilip, sa likod ng mga tala, kahit sulyap lang darna. Tumalon kaya ako sa bangin para lang iyong sagipin. Ito ang tanging paraan para mayakap ka. Darating kaya sa dami ng iyong ginagawa, kung kaagaw ko sila, paano na kaya? Awit na nananawagan, baka sakaling napakikinggan, pag-ibig na palaisipan, sa kanta na lang idaraan. Nag-aabang sa langit, sa mga ulap sumisilip, sa likod ng mga tala, kahit sulyap lang darna. Nag-aabang sa langit, sa mga ulap sumisilip, sa likod ng mga tala, kahit sulyap lang darna. Nakita kita sa isang magazine, dilaw ang iyong suot at buhok mo'y green. Isang tindahan sa may baklaran, napatingin at tulala sa iyong kagandahan. Naaalala mo pa ba noong tayo pang dalawa? Di ko inakalang sisikat ka, tinawanan pa kita, tinawag mo akong walang hiya. Medyo pangit ka pa noon, ngunit ngayon, hey! Iba na ang iyong ngiti, iba na ang iyong tingin, nagbago ng lahat sa'yo. Sana'y hindi nakita, sana'y walang problema, pagkat kulang ang dala kong pera. Pambili, pambili sa mukha mong maganda. Siguro ay may kotse ka na ngayon, rumarampa sa entablado, damit mo'y gawa ni Soto. Siguro'y malapit ka na ring sumali sa supermodel of the whole wide universe. Kasi iba na ang iyong ngiti, iba na ang iyong tingin, nagbago ng lahat sa'yo. Sana'y hindi nakita, sana'y walang problema, pagkat kulang ang dala kong pera. Yeah. Nakita kita sa isang magazine, at sa sobrang gulat, di ko napansin, bastos pala ang pamagat. Dali-dali ang binuklat, at ako'y namulat sa hubad na katotohanan. Hey! Iba na ang iyong ngiti, iba na ang iyong tingin, nagbago ng lahat sa'yo. Sana'y hindi nakita, sana'y walang problema, maganda. Nasaan ka na kaya? Sana ay masaya. Sana sa susunod na issue ay centerfold ka na. Umisilang ka sa mundong ito, laking tuwa ng magulang mo, at ang kamay nila ang iyong ilaw. At ang nanay at tatay mo'y di malaman ang gagawin, minamasdan pati pagtulog mo. At sa gabi, napupuyat ang iyong nanay sa pagtimpla ng gatas mo. At sa umaga na may kalong ka ng iyong amang tuwa sa'yo. Ngayon nga malaki ka na, ang nais mo'y maging malaya. Di man sila payag, walang magagawa. Ikaw nga ay biglang nagbago, naging matigas ang iyong ulo, at ang payo nila'y sinuway mo. Ginagawa'y para sa'yo. Pagkat ang nais mo'y masunod ang layaw mo, di mo sila pinapansin. Nagdaan pa ang mga araw at ang landas mo'y naligaw. Ikaw ay nalulong sa masamang bisyo, at ang una mong nilapitan ang iyong inang lumuluha. At ang tanong, anak, ba't ka nagkaganiyan? At ang iyong mga mata'y biglang lumuha nang di mo napapansin. Pagsisisi ang sa isip mo at nalaman mo ika'y nagkamali. Pagsisisi ang sa isip mo at nalaman mo ika'y nagkamali. Pagsisisi ang sa isip mo, nalaman mo ika'y nagkamali. Tagal kong sinusuyod ang buong mundo para hanapin ka. Nilibot ang distrito ng iyong lumbay. Pupulutin ka. Sinusundo kita. Sinusundo. Asahan mo mula ngayon, pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo. Asahan mo mula ngayon, pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo. Sa akin mo isabit ang pangarap mo, di ko kulangin ang ibibigay. Isuko ang kaba, tuluyan kang bumitaw. Ika'y manalig ka. Sinusundo kita. Sinusundo. Asahan mo mula ngayon, pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo. 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 Handa na sa liwanag mo, sinuyod ang buong mundo, maghihintay sa iyong sundo. Handa na sa liwanag mo, sinuyod ang maghihintay sa iyong sundo. Asahan mo mula ngayon, pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo. Asahan mo mula ngayon, pag-ibig ko'y sa'yo. Asahan ka
Ha? Ano to?
adik sa'yo, awit sa akin, nilang sawa na sa'kin, mga kwentong marton tungkol sa'yo at sa ligayang iyong hatid sa aking buhay. Tuloy ang bida sa isipan ko'y ikaw. Sa umaga't sa gabi, sa bawat minutong lumilipas, Kahit maghapon na tayong magkasama, parang telesine ang ating ending, hatid sa bahay nyo, sabay goodbye, sabay may kiss, sabay bye-bye. Sa umagat sa gabi, sa bawat minutong lumilipas, hinahanap-hanap kita.
I say special incendies. The United States has granted the Philippines their independence.
Swears in Vice President Sergio Osmeña as
If a
president.
prosperous and free democracy can be built in the Philippines,
The Republic of the Philippines
Ang atong kasing
kasing ni awit.
The hard election drive pays off and Macapagal wins.
Taking the entire Philippines under martial law.
I have always been a firm advocate of peace.
We are today being hailed as the new Asian Tiger Cup.
Walang kaibigan, walang kumpare.
A strong republic is the bedrock.
Kayo ang boss ko.
Do not destroy my country because I will kill you.
昭和18年10月14日、フィリピン共和国は堂々その独立を全世界に宣言。この日、
Quezon was already leaving Malacanang. The Japanese were already coming. They bombed Pearl Harbor already. When the Japanese came in Lingayen, they were unstoppable. So they have to evacuate the government. When Quezon went to Laurel, at first, he said that he's going to be with him to Corregidor. He was Justice of the Supreme Court and he was also appointed as, I think, Justice Secretary. So they had meetings in the Marikina land of Manuel Quezon under the mango trees. And they were talking about, you know, what are going to do and if we're going to evacuate. And you know what happened? At first, Quezon wanted Laurel to be with him. And then, one day after telling him, Laurel was already packing. After one day, Quezon changes his mind. Quezon told Laurel, iiwan na kita. Tulungan mo si Vargas na tulungan ng bayan.
My name is Jose Macario Laurel IV, and I am the oldest grandson or child of President Laurel. I think President Quezon studied and thought about who would be the best person to leave behind to take care of the country. And he chose my grandfather. President Quezon felt comfortable with his assignment. He felt that that was his job, his duty, to take care of the country. Yun ang inutos sa kanya ni Presidente.
My take on Laurel is that he was faced with a difficult option of accepting the offer of the Japanese of being the president of the would-be established Philippine Republic under Japanese sponsorship. Laurel was put in a tough position because he knows that the Japanese will demand a lot from country, which would include materials and personnel for the war. So most likely, ida-draft yung mga Filipino to fight alongside the Japanese against the Allied forces. So my take on Laurel is that he played along with the Japanese and he put the interests of the Filipino, or he safeguarded and tried as much as possible to minimize the impact of the war sa kanyang mga kababayan.
And of course, Vargas was Jorge Vargas. That was like Quezon's Bongo. Vargas was asked to talk to the Japanese. But Vargas was a nobody to the people. He knew the politicians. He can definitely negotiate in the name of Quezon to the Japanese, but the people will not recognize him. So, Quezon actually realizes that someone from the top officials should be left with Vargas to help him. And he saw that Laurel would fit the bill. He was a Yale lawyer, and in many ways, he was a very intelligent man and someone who will not bend his principles.
My name is Potenciana Nita Laurel Yupanco. For me, he's the best father that I can have, no? Because he's very attentive to our needs. And with my very efficient mother, I think we did not have so much problems like heartaches. My father has been a public servant. He's always with people, and my mother has been the one really taking of all of us kids. That's how it is. He's not materialistic. And because when he told us that I'm not going to give you wealth, I'm just going to give you the best education and a good name. Before, my father, all he has to have only is 20 pesos in his pocket. He's not really very about money. If he has 20 pesos in his pocket, he's already happy with that. You know, 20 pesos that time, I think, is also valuable, no? But he does not look for really magnates and so on. Hindi siya too ambitious with financial. It's only us children said, you have to work hard and strive to make yourself comfortable.
Grandfather was a little naughty. He got involved in a altercation. They had a Flores de Mayo at the Calle Real. Ezequiel Castillo was the consort. And the Reina Elena was Miss Love. So anong ginawa ng matanda? Linantakan ng lips to lips. Di sigaw si Ezequiel. Ezequiel, ibangon mo ang aking puri. Abay, di pinalo naman ng scepter ang kaburata sa ulo ng matanda. Di laglag. Ay, in the last moments of his consciousness, ay labas ang lansete. Ay, ano yun? Balisong. Ay, ginanong. The last conscious effort ay tinamaan, busbos. Ang tiyan. Ay, di pinabla naman siya ng mga Kastilyo for frustrated homicide. Ay pagkatapos linantakan pa niya ng pagtatanan sa lola ko na 17 anyos. Ay, he was convicted for 14 years. That caused stress on my great-grandmother. Nanay Ubay had a medical condition. It's called, in Tagalog, ay nahuli, which was she became forgetful. What is that? That was a nervous breakdown, and she never recovered from it. And the old man promised himself that he would reform, be a good son, study, and he did that. He graduated third in his class, and ultimately he topped the bar and was given a government pensionado to Yale.
My father is really a very good son because ever since my grandmother passed away, as you will notice, he never wear these other colored ties. He only wears one black tie. He's always in black because he was still mourning for his mother. Very few now can do that. He really respected and loved his mother so much. In the morning, because my grandmother, in her last days, she was staying with us. And every morning, my grandmother would go to church with her veil like that. And then when he sees my father, said, Jose, alis ka na? And then said, oh, kasama na ako. And then sasama na siya. And then, pag alis ng papa ko, sakay na siya. And then, after going down the office of my father, the driver has already instruction na iikot sa luneta ang lola ko. And paikot-ikot sila hanggang makatulog daw. And when she's already asleep in the car, then they would go home. I think it is very nice thing to do, no? Especially if you are old already. Like me, I'm 92, but I'm still working. That's the difference.
For so long, he has been labeled as a puppet president.
You know, there were really politicians during that time, like Benigno Aquino Sr., you know, the father of Ninoy. He was really totally pro-Japanese.
He loves the Filipinos. And to survive the situation, he had to cooperate with the Japanese.
happened with Laurel was, he told Quezon, I do not want to have anything to do with the Japanese. But you know, you cannot argue with Quezon, so he stayed. Of course, he was part of the welcoming party. He have to, of course, speak positively about the Japanese. You know, there were really politicians during that time, like Benigno Aquino Sr., you know, the father of Ninoy. He was really totally pro-Japanese.
Yung gustong sumulong tingkulunan sa paglabanan. Netang taon dito, ilamay nga matering keraklan ka rin kimpakirimbalan, pero metela rin keraklan, indano kong sa.
But Laurel was not one of them. When the Japanese would give independence to the country, what happened? 3 officials of the land were flown to Japan. It was Jose P. Laurel, I think Jorge Vargas, Benigno Aquino Sr. They were to meet Prime Minister Hideki Tojo. What Hideki Tojo wanted from that trip was that he wanted Laurel to commit that once he became president, he would declare a state of war against the Americans. Now, this was a hard moment for Laurel. When he heard that request, he prayed the Our Father in Latin, in his mind.
When the Japanese demanded that the Philippines declare war against the United States, hindi niya ginawa. Instead, he declared that a state of war exists between the Philippines and the United States. So, as a lawyer, yung legality nun, because there is a state of war, at hindi tayo nagde-declare ng war as a national policy, there is no need to mobilize Filipinos to fight against the Americans.
I, Jose P. Laurel, President of the Republic of the Philippines, do hereby proclaim that a state of war exists between the Republic of the Philippines and the United States of America and Great Britain, effective September 23rd, 1944, at 10 o'clock in the morning. Face to face with the grim realities of war, I earnestly call upon every Filipino at this momentous hour to show his unswervability and to give his support to the government so that regardless of the trial and tribulation we are undergoing and those we shall have to suffer in the near future, we may closely and firmly unite to safeguard the free and independent existence of the Philippines.
Now, this is the catch. You think that he followed the Japanese at this point. The Japanese wanted us to declare a state of war so that the Filipinos can now fight for the Japanese against the Americans. I know what happened. The lawyers were listening to Laurel's speech and they suddenly said, you know, that is a clever statement. Because he said in the speech and in his proclamation that he was recognizing that a state of war exists. He was not declaring a state of war. He's just recognizing that it's already there. So I will not do anything. I will not ask Filipinos to fight against the Americans. That saved a lot of people. Laurel probably saved my grandfather or your grandfather from sure death because of what he did. Because if a lot of Filipinos fought for the Japanese, I'm sure that half of these people will never come home.
I was sleeping in Malacanang beside him in his bedroom. All his children had their own rooms. I would always be available to him, and every time he has an opportunity, he talks to me. And earlier I was telling you that if he had a problem, I knew it right away because after dinner, we would go down to the basement of the palace where there's a chapel. If the problem is very bad or it's really a big problem for him, he normally stays longer in the chapel and I end up sleeping in the pew. Then he wakes me up and then we go back to the bedroom.
Before he became president, while playing golf at Wakwak Golf and Country Club, someone shot him. He received 2 shots. 2 shots entered his body and it was almost fatal, but he was saved.
7 yards, this little Joe, who's 6-footer, comes up to him and shoots him in Wakwak while playing golf. Finally, when he was in the PGH recovering from the shooting, the Japanese, after a few days, brought in suspects. After 3 suspects, the next one that they brought in, my grandmother asked him, why did it take you so long to decide to say that he is not the one? And his reason was, kasi siya nga ang bumaril sa akin eh. Papatayin lang yan eh. So sinabi ko, hindi yan.
The Japanese believe Laurel's account. They let the assassin go. So, dahil sa pagligtas ni Laurel sa buhay ng assassin, he pledged his loyalty to Laurel and stood by him as his bodyguard until Laurel's death.
When he was inaugurated as president, he went to Malacanang. He saw that a Japanese official was there in his office. Kitada Jitaro. And when he saw Mr. Jitaro-san, nagalit yung Laurel. He said, you know, I can be your advisor, but you cannot be my advisor. You better get out. Pinalayas yung Hapon. And since he was the new president of the Philippine Republic under the Japanese, he did not want the Japanese to be there. He insisted that I'm going to be an independent president. He asked them to leave. So no Japanese guards were allowed inside Malacanang. He formed his own presidential guards, and that became eventually what would be the presidential security guard.
While in Malacanang, na closely watched ng mga Japanese, Laurel was also meeting with guerrilla leaders. Refuge area siya at nagko-coordinate din siya sa mga guerrilla leaders. So, as much as possible, though he was doing these decisions, let us remember that all decisions of Laurel were made, kumbaga, inipit siya ng mga Japanese and he had to make tough calls one time and the other.
Yes, he saved Manuel Rojas twice because Laurel convinced General Homa to have Rojas and Jose Abad Santos to release from Mindanao jail. And the second time he was saved by President Laurel because during that time, General MacArthur and Manuel Rojas was sending a letter to each other to know what's happening in Manila. But unfortunately, the Japanese intercept the letter, so they wanted to kill Manuel Rojas because they think that Manuel Rojas was a pro-American, not a pro-Japanese.
The Japanese wanted to arrest him, but Laurel locked him in Malacanang Palace and said, under my presidency, you cannot arrest Rojas. There's a story by Emmanuel V. de Ocampo. He's one of the leaders of what we call the Hunters ROTC guerrillas. So remember that at that time, the guerrillas were fighting the Japanese. And the Hunters ROTC wanted to know if Jose P. Laurel was really pro-Japanese. Emmanuel de Ocampo, according to him, he went to Malacanang. He sneaked to the presidential palace. Remember that, you know, it's possible that there are Japanese spies going around. But know what happened? Emmanuel de Ocampo went inside the office of Laurel. He met secretly in Laurel's room. Parang he asked him, are you going to declare a state of war? And Laurel just said, I'm going to declare that a state of war exists. He did not understand it. But Emmanuel de Ocampo got the impression that he was not pro-Japanese. Look at that. He was the president of the quote-unquote puppet republic, and here he was talking to the guerrillas.
For so long, he has been labeled as a puppet president.
And he said, I am not asking that I be acquitted. I am only asking to be given reasonable opportunities to prove that I am innocent.
He ran as a senator, and really he got the #1, just like Cynthia Villar.
His speeches, for example, though praising the Japanese for liberating Asia from the colonial powers, was not totally praising them. these speeches as opportunity to promote nationalism and Philippinism. That we can stand on our own, that we should have our own values and principles.
Your Excellency, that with the cooperation of Burma, of Manchukuo, of Thailand, of China, and even of the peoples of Java, Borneo, and Sumatra, whose interests cannot be different from the interests of the other peoples of Greater Bay State. May I express to the hope, Your Excellency and gentlemen, that united with Japan, united into a compact and solid organization, there can no longer be any power that can stop or deter the march of 1 billion Orientals, so that they may freely and untrammeled shape their own destiny without intervention, no longer without any oppression and interference of any power coming from the West.
All of us in the family know that he is pro-Filipino. He loves the Filipinos. And to survive the situation, he had to cooperate with the Japanese, but always in mind the protection of the Filipinos. That's the attitude that we saw from him. He sees to it that whatever the Filipinos outside the palace are eating, he has the same food. He sees to it that the employees or the staff of the palace are also given the same food that he is eating.
Sa gitna ng kagutuman, sa gitna ng kamatayan, kapagkat ang kamatayan may matamis, katulad ng itinuro ng ating mga bayani, kung iya'y magdudura ng isang pag-asa at ng isang atahikain, pinagpakamatayan niya. Kung ano man ang inyong nasa sa kaisipan, kung ano man ang inyong nasa sa loob, ikalang lang ng ninyo at mahalin ang bandilang ngayon, ikaat, General Aguinaldo,
And on October 14, 1943, he gave his speech at the Luneta. That's the day when the Philippine flag went up again. Before that time, the Philippine flag would not be raised.
For so long, he has been labeled as a puppet president. After reinterpretation of the history of the presidency of Jose P. Laurel, I think the term or the label puppet president is unfair to him. So we cannot consider him as truly a 100% puppet to the Japanese because he acted on what he believed based on what he can do. Kahit na ipit siya, kahit nakatali yung kamay niya, kahit na literally nakatutok yung baril ng Hapon sa kanya, he made tough decisions, and as much as possible, the decisions would minimize the hardships of the Filipinos during the Japanese occupation.
People of the Philippines, I have returned.
His presidency ended when the Americans were already coming. He was evacuated to Tokyo. And then, of course, after that, he was imprisoned by the Americans in Japan. He was brought back here to the Philippines to stand trial for collaboration. He wanted to defend himself. It is clear that collaboration under compulsion or pressure cannot be punishable, or neither is collaboration compelled by and limited to the necessity of national survival punishable. And he said, I am not asking that I be acquitted. The time has not come for that. I am only asking to be given reasonable opportunities to prove that I am innocent. So he was ready. He wanted that trial to happen so that he can prove that he was innocent. But Rojas, when he became president, signed that he is forgiving all the collaborators. And in many ways, Laurel was forgiven, but Laurel actually did not like that it happened because he wanted to go to trial. He wanted to prove his innocence.
Well, I remember very well that after the war, the collaborator pa yun, no? The news of collaboration, he ran as a senator. And really, he got the #1. Just like Cynthia Villar, he was #1 in the list of senators. And it makes us feel happy that the Filipinos at least know him, what he really is.
By the fact that Laurel won as senator in the 1951 elections, made him or justifies that he is also or still popular as Filipino loyal to the country at the time. So even several years after the war, people still trusted Laurel. That's why he won.
I think President Laurel's greatest legacy is he authored the Bill of Rights. Also, the SSS in the field that is being utilized up to now by us.
As he said, nobody can love the Filipinos better than the Filipinos themselves. No American, no Japanese. It's we. Walang makakatulong sa atin kundi tayo rin.
He felt that people are becoming Americans after the war. There was much, the culture, the economy was becoming pro-American. And that he felt that probably we just wake up and we do not have a country anymore, because even if we're an independent country, our soul, our identity is already American. And so with the Claro M. Recto, they sponsored in the Senate a bill that mandates the teaching of the life, works, and writings of Jose Rizal in college, in all the schools and universities in the Philippines. And that's the reason why you and I have